Welcome to my channel. I wanted to make a bonus video where I actually check in on my 12-week year goals. When I've been looking at 12-week years in other YouTube channels, I feel like I got a before and how to do it, and an after the 12-week year, what happened, but not so much in the weeds, and I want to do that publicly here. So we're going to create a new weekly check-in for week number 1. It's basically over. It's Sunday night right now. All I have to do is my yoga that I am planning on doing today. The one problem with the way that I made these is that I auto-created ones to show up today, which is awesome, except that they are now messing with my completed goals for the week. So we're going to say that the created time is between last week and yesterday. There we go. That's better. Now we don't have brand new ones kind of interrupting what's going on here. So I was actually out of town until Wednesday this week. So I was unable to do my wrist rehab every single day, which is my goal. So obviously I did not do it on Monday and Tuesday. Sunday, you're at the end of my list. There we go. But every other week, or every other day this week, I did at least 50% of my wrist rehab. In terms of what's automatically populating in my wrist rehab, I think that I need to add some more strength exercises beyond the ones I'm doing. My goal was to do yoga 3 times. I didn't get to it until Friday. I did Saturday. I'm going to do it once I finish digesting dinner, honestly, today. My goal for YouTube was to plan videos, which I actually did twice this week, once on the plane. And then again, I was looking at my schedule and trying to figure out what I wanted to do on Friday. I think I'm going to be doing this more than once a week as I'm kind of getting into the routine of YouTube. And then I spent basically an hour and a half. The interesting thing about my checklist is that when I spend 30 minutes, I can only check it off on a certain day. So when I spend more than 30 minutes, in this case, I actually spent like an hour and a half on Thursday. So I checked off Thursday and Wednesday is kind of how I decided to do it. But like it's all made up anyway, right? And then for my musical, 15 minutes is so not it. I mean, it's what I need to get started. But on Saturday, the task that I was putting off was this song that has a bunch of key changes, a bunch of weird notes in it. And I took a picture of my melody and I sent it to a classmate. And I was like, help. I have no idea how to do a chord progression. Yeah, we ended up on the phone for an hour. I probably worked on that song for 2 hours yesterday. I spent an hour and a half on Friday preparing my whole libretto for a friend to read to help me as I'm coming up with the ending. I spent 45 minutes in conversation with another collaborator today and then worked on my song more. So, like, I'm doing so much more than 15 minutes, but I'm making sure to give myself only 15 minutes because if I told myself to spend 2 hours working on a song, that would just be too big of a barrier to get into it. So I'm really excited with these percentages, except that what they're telling me is that it's too easy. I might come back to this in the future, but I do want to give it another week because I do know that I kind of come out of the gate so excited about things and I have a lot on my plate moving forward. So let's go ahead and talk about it. What is going well? Everything right now is going really well. I made the video I said I would. I got videos planned. I've been making significant progress on my musical. I've done yoga. It's feeling decent. Like I said, I completed my wrist rehab every single day that I was home. My average completion, my lowest average is 85.5%, 150% for this, 100% for this one, and even more if you're counting by minutes. Everything feels like it's going well. There haven't been a ton of struggles except getting started. Getting back into yoga was hard. I haven't, because of the wrist injury that I hadn't done yoga at all since September, and getting started again was really weird. I'm also having a hard time not staring at my analytics pages for different things, which is hard. And with writing a musical, you're so reliant on collaborators at the point that I'm at that I feel a little bit stuck that I can't do everything myself to get ready for a reading, but that's what it is. When it comes to changing my tactics, my wrist rehab right now is 2 types of exercises that I do in 3 different hand positions to help regain strength in my wrist. but I know that part of what I'm going to need from research that I've done to the kind of injury that I had, which was a tear in my TFCC, I also need to strengthen my shoulder, get some range of motion back. And I have a list of those exercises. I'm not sure that I'm ever going to actually give them what I need. Right now, it takes me about 18 minutes per day to do my wrist rehab. If I was to add all the other ones, the total amount of time is probably closer to 45 minutes, which is a lot. And I can't do it at my desk. I have to like literally lay down on the floor to do it. But I also really want to be able to do gymnastics and yoga again. So I don't think I'm going to move my tactics yet. I am going to keep it on the back burner to figure out how to bring in these other exercises in a way that's not going to become a huge barrier. Besides that, I want to give it one more week. I don't think 1 week of data is enough. Looking forward to the next week, I actually have a reading of my musical scheduled. My focus this week needs to be on getting together what I need for the reading to go well, even if it's just voice memos. I also am starting a new job that I'm really excited about, but it has a lot of work going into it. So I know that I'm going to be busy and I'm going to be focused mainly on this, which means that my goal of getting ahead, ideally, I want to get ahead like I am in my finances, where it's a month in advance. And I think this week I'm going to be lucky just to get out my one video for the week beyond this one. So that's not going to happen. But let's go ahead and check in with those leg measures really quick. I'm going to go back to each goal. This is the easy one. The only real new thing here is I printed out a lead sheet for this reprise, which really was just a matter of doing it. And then today's was to start working on melody notation for this because I have a collaborator who's going to do some orchestration and he needs at least a little bit of notation to work from before he can do that. And then the other thing, oh, right, this is actually, we're not finished yet, but we actually have melodies and chords that are started for both of these. This is the song that I was working on yesterday. I just need to do the introduction and like the bridge, the B section of the whole song. I don't have a melody or chords for yet, but we're getting there. I'm actually really excited about that. I might actually write down that I did that for my contact just for fun. This was yesterday, just because to me, it's actually really important to celebrate this work. And so I wrote it down here too. And then today's hard thing was so far I really only did spend 15 minutes on this. So yeah, that's the hard things that I accomplished this week for my musical. And I'm really excited about how that's going. I also, I think, need to add this because ideally we have all of these done. All of these done before Sunday. That one exists. That one exists. That one exists. That one exists. I need to fix that one. I think that one's done. That one's done. I want to fix that one. So yeah, I actually have a lot of voice memos to make this week. I hope I can sing. Then checking in on my wrist. Again, did my wrist rehab. I'm able to do down dog without modification now, but I do struggle getting into it. Just once I'm there, I can hold equal weight in my hands, which is actually really exciting for me. It's interesting to me that this is actually easier than cat cow because of the position of your wrist, but I had to end up moving the order because it happened in a different order than I thought it would. And then this, we actually get to peek on how that's going. I made this database to track the videos that I make, and I'm working on some marketing things right now just to help understand marketing in a way that's reaching the right audience without being like crummy. So that's what I'm tracking there for myself. Let me go ahead and pull up my YouTube stats really quick. I'm just going to go under what is the earn tab in YouTube says for these numbers. I know it's a little bit lagging, which I think is actually going to be good for me. So like I'm not getting ahead of myself. I had 194 for a couple of days, but I lost one, and that's okay. I want to be reaching the people who want to be here, and that is really, if you aren't those people, then don't stay. I don't want you to feel guilted into staying. But I ended up getting 5 watch hours, which, isn't going to get me to 1,500, but it's actually more than I've gotten in a while. For the first time, really, since I had a video go kind of viral in September, my views and my watch time are up compared to the previous 28 days, which is really, really exciting. That is moving in the right direction, at least. Yeah, I think for my first week, it went really well. I'm not really hitting any leg measures yet, but next week, I'm going to have a big one with my workshop for my musical. Hopefully, it is going to be a success, and I'm going to have done all the voice memos that I need for that before it happens. And yeah, that is, well, what's 1/12? Let's find out. 8% of my 12-week year is done. If you're doing a 12-week year too, let me know in the comments and how it's going, how it started, if you started on the 6th like I did, or, the 8th, but whatever. How's it going? What has been one of the biggest challenges for you so far, or one of the biggest surprises, and how well it's turning out? And I will see you on Thursday.